In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a small crochet heart applique. In the previous two tutorials, I showed you how to make a tiny crochet heart and a very small crochet heart. So this is the next size in my series of the crochet hearts. So I'm going to have 5 different sizes that I'm going to show you. So if you'd like to see the tutorial on how to do the tiny crochet heart or the very small crochet heart, I will have an iCard in the corner that you can click on to bring you directly to that tutorial, and I will leave a link in the description box. And I will be creating a playlist when I'm done with all the different size crochet hearts. That way you can choose which one that you want to watch for your crochet project. So I'm going to go ahead and set these aside because this is the one we're going to work on today. And to make this heart, I'm going to use a size J or 10 6mm crochet hook. And here's one that I did in pink. This is a 4-ply worsted weight yarn. Here's another one I did in red. This is also a 4-ply worsted weight yarn. But if you look at it, you can see that it looks like it's a little bit bigger. Even though I did it with the same pattern in the same size crochet hook, what happens is, even though they're both 4-ply worsted weight yarn, you are going to find that there are some differences between different yarn brands, even though they're both 4-ply worsted weight yarn. And I have even found that even the same brand, different colors, depending when they were manufactured, they have some slight variances and some differences. Like if you're making clothing, you probably noticed on your crochet patterns that there's something on there that talks about gauge, and that is very important because you can clearly see that there's 2 sizes here, where this came out bigger because this yarn is thicker. So that's why gauge is really important if you're making clothing. So if you are making clothing, definitely when you check your pattern, you definitely want to look at that part that talks about gauge. And that's why I just kind of wanted to show you that, so you can kind of see that even though it's the same size crochet hook, same type of yarn, they're both 4-ply, you can clearly see that you're going to get some differences depending on the thicknesses. Technically they're supposed to be the same, but there is a difference. And this even feels thicker than this one. So I'm going to create this one with the same color of pink. And I'm going to start off with a magic ring. Alright, so I'm going to make my magic ring here. Okay, so we're going to start off with a chain 2. And we're not going to count this chain 2 as a stitch. So then we're going to do 12 double crochets into the center of the magic ring. And since we're not counting this chain 2, you want to go ahead and do 12 double crochets. Okay, so I have my 12 double crochets. We're not counting that chain 2. So I did 12 double crochets, and now I'm going to pull the tail from my magic circle to close up that center circle. And then I'm going to join with a slip stitch. I'm not going to insert it into that chain 2. I'm going to insert it right into that first double crochet we did and join with a slip stitch. And that completes round 1. So we just have one more round to work to finish our heart. Okay, so we're going to start off with the chain 3. And then we're going to do a double treble crochet right into that same first stitch. So for a double treble crochet, we wrap our yarn 3 times, and then we insert it into the stitch. So I'm going right into that first stitch. I'm going to pull up a loop, and now you see I have 5 loops on my hook. I'm going to do a yarn over, and I'm going to pull through the first 2 loops, leaving the last 3 still on my hook. And then you'll have 4 loops. I'm going to do yarn over, pull through the first 2, leaving these last 2 still on my hook. You see I have 3 loops now. Yarn over, pull through these 2, leaving the last one still on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the last 2, and that completes your double treble crochet. And now I'm going to do a treble crochet into the same stitch. I'm going to wrap my yarn 2 times, insert it back into that same stitch, and do my treble crochet. Or sometimes you'll hear it called a triple crochet or a treble. Okay, the next stitch is going to have 2 stitches. You're going to have a double crochet and a half double crochet into that same stitch. The next stitch will also have 2 stitches. It's going to have 2 half double crochets. The next stitch will also have 2 stitches. 1 double crochet and 1 treble crochet. The next stitch will also have 2 stitches. There will be 2 treble crochets. That was 1 treble crochet. Now I need my second treble crochet into that same stitch. Now the next stitch is going to have 3 stitches. You're going to do 2 treble crochets. That's the first one. Second treble crochet. And then 1 double crochet, all into the same stitch. So into that stitch we did 3 stitches, 2 treble crochets and 1 double. And then we are going to chain 1. And then into the next stitch we're going to do a slip stitch. And that completes your first half of your heart. And now you can see that it's starting to look like the first part of our heart. So now we need to make the second half of our heart. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1. And the next stitch will have 3 stitches. You're going to have 1 double crochet and 2 treble crochets into that same stitch. So just to recap, 3 stitches into the same stitch, a double crochet, 2 treble crochets. The next stitch will have 2 stitches. They will be 2 treble crochets. That's 1 and my second treble. The next stitch will have 2 stitches. There will be 1 treble crochet and 1 double crochet into that same stitch. The next stitch will have 2 stitches. We will do 2 half double crochets into that same stitch. The next stitch will have 2 stitches. You'll do a half double crochet and 1 double crochet into that same stitch. And then you'll join with a slip stitch to the top of that chain 3 that we did when we began round 2. So here's the first 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll just insert our hook into that 3rd chain and do a slip stitch, and that completes our heart applique. So it's really easy, just takes 2 rounds to finish, and then you just cut your yarn, pull it through to fasten off, and then you can weave in your tails. You can leave the tails on if you want to use the tails to sew it on to your crochet project. In the next tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this medium-sized crochet heart. Now this one for the medium is going to take 3 rounds to complete because it's going to be bigger than our small size heart. This one took 2 rounds, and we also did a very small crochet heart that was also 2 rounds, and the tiny heart was 1. So if you'd like to see the tutorial on how to make the medium size heart, I will have an iCard in the corner that you can click on that will bring you directly to that tutorial. I will also leave a link in the description box below. And I will also add it to the playlist once I have finished this tutorial and have uploaded it. So I hope that you found the tutorial helpful today. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and like the video. I want to thank you for watching today, and have a great day.